Hello everybody, welcome back to Sands of Pie. I'm Apple Pie and this is the CozyCraft SMP. Back in episode 6 we built a farm in the village we can see over there. And we're a ways away from there right now because it's time for the industrial age. I promised in episode 6 that we were going to be working our way towards an industrial tower and we were going to build lots of farms. Well, this is all true. The point of this episode is only the creeper farm, but we've done so much more, and I'll hint towards the end what we've worked on. But for now, we need to talk about logistics. All of the farms that I want to build, and have built thus far, have been my own design. I did not want tutorials, I wanted to learn how to maximize efficiency by using game mechanics, and that was the entire goal. The output from these farms is beyond what I will ever need, but that's completely not the point. So we're going to do a quick walkthrough of the actual farm and talk about some of the challenges and engineering method used and sit here and enjoy watching the little minecarts taking all of our resources down to the drop. And then we'll talk about future plans. So here we go. The creeper farm that I decided to build was designed based roughly on the first one that I ever learned, which was how to use cats to scare the creepers into the bottom of a kill pit. It's scaled up quite a bit, and a lot of experimentation was done on where to place the carpet and where to place the cats, how many chambers to use and whatnot. So what we've got is these 12 chambers. There's 3 layers of 4 each. Each chamber has a cat in the center that is spaced out perfectly to scare off every square of the chamber. And then there's a 5-block long ledge on the edge of each chamber with the trapdoors for them to fall down, which was ideal for the amount of time spent scared. The carpets were placed in a number of different configurations, but now they're in the configuration that leaves the most room directly from the cats to the kill pit. And then, as you can see, we're using a magma block kill chamber with a water elevator underneath from a hopper cart, which is feeding my sorter up above. That will become a lot more relevant in the second episode of this little mini series because we use that elevator for so much more. But as you can see right now, we're looking at an extremely productive farm. So what else are we going to do? What are the plans moving forward? Let's walk around it, take a look. While sitting up here on top of Pie Peak, as I started calling it, we can see the beginnings of the tower that's going to go up. I will post another picture of the Lightmatica schematic that I put at the end of episode 6. But we need to talk about how we got here with this farm. As you can see, our final tested output is 1,950 gunpowder per hour. This is definitely a lot more than I was expecting to be able to make with a simple farm like this. But a lot of tweaking went into it and a few days worth of tuning, and I wanted to go over the method that was used for that. Basically, we started out with the bare minimum. We just had the 12 chambers, and then we tried to go up 128 blocks, and by we I mean I, and nothing was spawning. So using a little bit of replay mod, I was able to track down the issue that everything was despawning at a distance of 80 below me. So from that standpoint, we were able to deduce that the server had simulation distance set to 5, which would be 80 blocks, and sure enough that was correct. So we got that fixed, and now the AFK tower is sitting at 125 blocks above the kill chamber, which is ideal. And just that, of course, fixed a lot of things, because when things are despawning as they fall into the kill chamber, then you're obviously not going to get a lot of loot out of them. So that was one challenge. The next was, as I stated in the walkthrough, the placement of the cats and the carpets was definitely an interesting situation. We're going to go down and take a look at the chamber right now, but the cats I had originally put in the back of the chamber because that's where I had remembered them from a long time ago when I built my first one. And that turned out to not be ideal because when the mobs were getting to the front of the chamber, they were getting just out of the 6-block scare range of the cats. So I moved the cats block by block forward until they were in the center of the chamber and could reach everything, which was the magical key. When the creepers are always scared, they go flying into the kill chamber faster. And these are my spare kitty cats. We'll find something fun to do with them later. But here we are on the outside of the chamber, and we're down in the Y45 range. And once we got those cats figured out, and the creepers all staying scared all the time, then it came down to pathing. What was ideal? How are we going to get the creepers into the pit as fast as possible? And it turns out that of the different configurations that I tried with the carpet, there was one that allowed me to put as much as possible on the edges of the chamber. And as I moved to that setup and got those paths clear, it seemed counterintuitive because I put one piece of carpet in the very center tile, but it left the other 4 of the drop open. And that dramatically improved the throughput of the farm. Because the creepers were able to spawn and go flying straight out. So we got to the point where my initial design was getting maybe 400 per hour, but between simulation distance, torching farm or torching caves underneath, moving cats, moving carpet, we ended up getting almost 2,000 per hour, and that's an insane amount of gunpowder, especially when I'm not using it for much, except rockets. But maybe we'll open a shop. I do have a few industrial outputs that I'm kind of proud of, and that is a mix of rockets and TNT. And those are all being produced currently and shipped via these carts to my magical drop-off, which is getting us ready for the next episode, which is going to be about the logistics of getting the remainder of our farms, meaning iron and sugar and whatnot, their output down to the base down there. And the original plan that I talked about in episode 6 was that we were going to have to deal with chunk loading, because of the simulation distance between the AFK spot at the top of my tower and the depot at the bottom that's going to figure out how to store many thousands of items. That was only going to be a problem if we kept sim distance 5. With a sim distance of 8, that lantern that I'm pointing at right now is the outside of the despawn range of that AFK spot up there. So that factory right there is going to be able to take in real time the output from the farms, which is kind of cool because we're at the point now where the stuff is being dropped down to the correct Y coordinate. So anything that is not currently being produced is being shipped down as well. No items are being wasted. I'll probably figure out a nice incinerator to selectively burn when needed, but as of right now, our output is coming along quite nicely. So I wanted to put a little graphic up here showing the beauty of where we're going, especially what we'll see in the next episode, because we've got some good output and we've got some good logistics to go behind it, and this is a lot of fun. Going to cover auto crafters and how to make resilient systems so they don't break when things run out or you get overflowed, or scenarios like AFKing. So that's going to be episode 8, and it's going to be a lot more in depth on the rest of this. but episode 7 here really is creeper farm focused because it is by far the largest output of what I work on. So one of the ideal parts of this entire thing is taking the landscape and working with it. This mountain was broken. I mean, this gap of a mountain here has been here the whole time. The top of it at Y115 was absolutely fantastic for what I wanted to work on. So this gave me an entire hollowed out mountain to work with, and from there we will fill it in and make a nice looking mountain out of the rest of it. But the rest of the farms and the rest of the logistics are all being built from the creeper farm up. So at Y43, the creeper farm is the basis. On top of it will be stacked iron and sugarcane and crafters and sorters, and eventually we're going to load up right down here. So I'm excited to share this with everybody. I'm going to post a couple of shorts with a little bit more about the building. The design is extremely easy, and I will put some overlays to kind of give pointers tutorial style, but the point of this really is not tutorial. The point is talking about the engineering method and all the things tried and the experiments and optimizations that went into creating something that I had not done before. So it has been very good showing you this, and I eagerly await the next episode being released because I have done all the work for it. We are to the point right now where everything is being dumped off of that mountain into those chests. And soon, after we talk about logistics, then it will be time to make everything look good. And that's where the tower comes into play. That's where the factory comes into play. And then whatever we can do to reduce lag. So thank you for stopping by. I will see you in the next episode.